3 a.m. Saturday morning when they got a call for a burglary in progress where shots were fired. Deputies found 2 people with gunshot wounds on the scene. 18-year-old Michael Bosworth Jr. was transported to a local hospital where he died just hours before his high school prom.
So Michael was hit in the torso. He later died in Mary Washington Hospital. Another teen was grazed and a third got away physically unharmed, but probably scarred for life. And this all happened hours before Bosworth's senior prom. His girlfriend wore his pink bow tie to the dance. That's not something anyone should ever have to do. And like I said, Butler's now sitting in jail, waiting for these charges to process. Overall, it's just an awful situation for everyone involved. Now, you might be asking, isn't Virginia a stand your ground state? Well, not quite. Virginia doesn't have a codified stand your ground law, but it does recognize something similar through what's called a castle doctrine. Basically, if someone breaks into your house and you have reasonable fear for your life, you can stand your ground and essentially eliminate the target. But the key here is you have to have a reasonable fear. But, and that is a big but, that legal protection gets really fuzzy if the threat is outside your home or if the person is retreating when you shoot. Because if Butler fired through the door or after they started running away, that might explain the second-degree charge. So let's break down the charges here. First, the second-degree murder charge here. The penalty in Virginia can be anywhere from like 5 to 40 years in prison, which, I mean, that's a terribly wide range. He also has a malicious wounding charge, which has a potential of 5 to 20 years in prison. And that one also has a mandatory minimum of 5 years in prison if a weapon was used. And finally, he has 2 counts of using a firearm in the commission of a felony. For a first-time offender, that's a 3-year mandatory minimum. And because Butler is charged with 2 counts, that's a minimum of 8 years just for the gun charges. And that has to be served back to back in addition to the sentences for the other felonies. So the total potential sentence here, if convicted on all counts, is a minimum of likely around 13 years and a maximum of 65 plus years, which is just, it's insane. I mean, that is a hell of a way to ruin your life in 2 seconds for both the shooter, who might spend life in prison,